And it is still March 14th, 2026. We are in a neat little town of Ramona, California, with a very special person, and you are?
My name is Janae Wallace, a longtime supporter of Miss Rodeo California. I was Miss Rodeo California 2025.
And kind of tell us about yourself, your experiences that you had holding those titles, and what your future is going to be as far as rodeos and that type of thing.
Absolutely. I was Miss Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen in 2019. That's where I got my start 7 years ago, which is crazy to say with all the experiences I've had. I was Miss Rodeo Lakeside, and then I competed twice for Miss Rodeo California. Got first runner-up the first time and came home with the title for the second time. There have been 3 young women, including myself, who are from Valley Center, who have earned the title of Miss Rodeo California. I then went on to compete for Miss Rodeo America. It was myself and 26 other young women, and I was incredibly honored to have placed second runner-up and won the personality award.
So what is it like running for those big crowns like America and so forth, USA? What is that like? What's the journey?
It is truly a long journey and a tiring journey, but one that is so incredibly fulfilling. I have made some of the best connections through Miss Rodeo California and the Miss Rodeo America pageant. It is where I have learned my passion of sideline reporting, and that's where my future is going to take me. But I wouldn't have been able to do that without the connections that I made through the Miss Rodeo California program. So, crash and burn. But it has just been an incredible opportunity, and what a privilege to be able to say that I got to travel across the country and into Canada representing the Western lifestyle and the Western lifestyle here in the Golden State of California.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
It is. It is definitely a lot of work. I spent months preparing, years preparing for Miss Rodeo America, and that dream was first placed on my heart 7 years ago when I had met Miss Rodeo America 2017. Her name is Lisa Lucia, and ever since then I began preparing. So it is studying a lot of equine knowledge, PRCA knowledge, pro rodeo knowledge, all the stats, history, all the things that you need to be a good representative of rodeo. Started that very early and just dug deep the closer and closer I got to that national stage.
And so what are you doing these days, and what does the future hold for you as far as, are you going to continue to compete? You're young, continue to compete, or what do you think the future is going to hold as far as the rodeo?
Yes, so currently I work for Boot Barn, and they are an incredible sponsor of not only Miss Rodeo California but Miss Rodeo America as well, so it's an honor to give back to the program that gave back to me. And then I have recently joined a media agency called the Arena Press, so you will see me in front of the camera a lot more with rodeo athletes up and down the state of California, and hopefully at the National Finals Rodeo this year in December. And then after that, we'll see where the future takes me. I would love to get back into roping, especially breakaway roping, but I think I'm going to hold off for now.
Janice, as I asked someone else earlier, I see kids at the rodeos, and especially the young girls looking up to the queens when they introduce them. They're riding on their horses, or they do whatever they do in the arenas right at rodeos, and they're in awe. They get the autograph. So, what is your message to young girls that, I'm sure there's tons of young girls that or just have seen that look up to you, see you in the hat, they see you on the horse, they know you're a queen. What's your message to young girls that aspire to be what you are today, as a very confident young woman too?
Thank you. I have so many messages for young women, because it can be very daunting to come into rodeo as a sport, or rodeo queening as a hobby, or hopefully career path. But my biggest piece of advice is nobody is excluded. You can come from all different walks of life, and as long as you love the sport of rodeo and you strive to be a good representative, what a better fit, and we would love to be able to welcome you into the rodeo family with open arms. In addition to that, it is never too late to start. I was not involved in rodeo from a young age. I got into it later in life in high school, but I grew up around horses and I was familiar with rodeo. Going into this role as the Valley Center Stampede Rodeo Queen, it was incredibly daunting, but there were so many people that were there to lift me up along the way and guide me, and my hopes is that I do the same for young women so that we can carry on the tradition and the great Western heritage of rodeo.
And as I mentioned, I first met you, Lakeside Rodeo, Lakeside Rodeo Grounds. Can you tell me what year that was? I mean, I said, oh, can I talk to you? Took some pictures. Remember, you were so gracious. And then when I arrived here today, I said, she looks familiar, but I couldn't place it, right? But then you came up to me to realize. So what year was that?
I was the 2022 Miss Rodeo Lakeside.
So that was 4 years ago?
It was. Wow. Seems just like yesterday.
Yeah, I know, really. Well, listen, I wish you the very, very best, and thank you for taking your time to do this.
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for supporting Suhei.
All right, thank you. So.